Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. Did I say 2015? I wanted to type 2025. Forgive me, I will correct it. I'm talking about 2025. So make una no vex. Now 2025 we dey talk. So you guys know what I'm saying, and you know it was a typo. If 1 and 2 are very close to each other, and once you've released a title, you cannot um, correct it. So you guys just, you know what it is. Let's just deal with it like that. So let's move forward. In 2025, you're going to need to pray less. And here is what I need you to do instead of prayer. 5 things. Number 1, listen more. Praying is talking. God does not talk to you when you are praying. He talks to you with your situations, everything around you. He talks to you with that. You need to listen more. When you're praying, what you are doing is you are talking more. You're making demands. You're asking for things. And sometimes the answers are with you, but because you're not listening, the conversation is one-sided. Your conversation is one-sided. Yeah. Okay, buy 2 of it. 2 portions, one for her, one for me. All right. So, what am I trying to say at the end of the day is, number 1, listen more. Number 2, grow your conscience. Many of you will finish praying and you have no conscience. Many of you do not understand that jealousy is a sin. Many of you do not understand that laziness is a sin. Many of you don't understand that greed is a sin. Many of you don't understand all these things. Some of you do not have consciences because you don't go to churches or hang out in groups where your conscience is poked. You are too busy making requests without understanding that God doesn't answer the prayer of sinners, especially those who live in iniquity. The first type of sin is the sin of error. I did not know it was a sin. I committed it. The second sin is the sin of conscience. I know it is wrong, but I have no choice. I feel bad doing it. I kick myself when I do it, but I have no choice. Like the little lady who just finished sleeping with the lecturer who she's been sleeping with, who said that she was never going to sleep with him again, but the lecturer is not releasing her result, or the lecturer called her to his office over another thing and locked the door and had his way with her. She's going back home feeling bad. She's going to cry for 3 hours. But she's going to find herself committing the sin again because of her situation, because of her weakness. But she feels bad nonetheless. That's the sin of conscience. And the third is the sin of iniquity. When you live in sin to the point where your conscience has been eroded. You don't even, when you do something wrong, your conscience pricks you. There are 5 pieces of meat and there are 5 people, but you ate 2, so you are going to cut 1 into 2 so everybody will have. The second sin, the third sin is iniquity, when you live in sin with no conscience. The way our politicians go and pack money, the way their children spend the packed money like there's nothing wrong. And yet all these people are prayerful. So 2025, pray less and wake your conscience up. Start feeling bad. Even if you are going to commit a sin of conscience, that is, you are doing something that you know, at least feel bad about it. Some of you have no consciences and you spend all day praying. And what you pray for will end up making you have even less conscience, because you are believing that God is blessing you inside your lack of consciousness or your lack of conscience. Number 3, why you need to pray less. When you are sabotaging your own prayers. You are sabotaging your own prayers, or your prayers are sabotaging your actions. The sabotage, that's number 3. Can somebody remind us what number 1 and number 2 are? So that we are on the same page. Number 1 and 2. Number 1, listen more. Number 2, conscience. Number 3, sabotage. When you are sabotaging your prayers with your actions, and when your prayers are sabotaging your actions, sabotage gets 2 categories. How do you sabotage your prayers with your actions? You are praying that your son does well academically, and then you go and buy him a new game. Your prayer is, Father, let this boy do well. Oh, I'm just giving you an example. Then you use your hand and go and buy him game that he'll be playing more. You are praying that your wife should stop cheating. Your wife should stop cheating. But then you are not curtailing the friend she's moving with. You are not checkmating her circle. That is when your actions are sabotaging your prayers. Now, there's now the reverse. When your prayers are sabotaging your actions. Instead of buying new tire, instead of maintaining your car, you are praying that your car should not have accidents. If you didn't have that window of God, that window of heavenly protection, you would have fixed that car. So now your prayer is now sabotaging your life, because you are believing in the prayer while setting yourself up in real life. Somebody said to me, oh, Daddy Freeze, God saved him from an accident. His tire blew out, but God saved him. I'm like, so who saves the Japanese? The fact that they maintain their car and they have good road. You don't need God. Those tires don't burst. Tires don't burst. If you have the right thread, and if you have the right year of manufacture of tire, and you are driving at the right speed for the tire, and you have your vehicle properly checked and the road is good, that tire can never burst. Tires don't burst. Maybe 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 100,000. In Nigeria, tire they burst every day, because na Tokumbo tire you they buy, we don't expire. You can't dey drive the Tokumbo tire, we don't expire, on road, we not good. So your prayer is sabotaging your effort. Because if you didn't have a belief system that told you that God is watching over you, you will not use Okun Ogede to gun Okpe. Fọlọ́run ṣọ́ tó ń fi Okun Ogede gun Okpe. That's a Yoruba proverb that says, a guy whose name is Fọlọ́run ṣọ́, God, they watch over me. He can't they use the rope of banana to climb palm tree. Which day he no go fall, which day he no go break his neck. So sometimes your prayer is your problem. I know somebody whose child was in the hospital, and the person went to remove the child from the hospital. When the child started feeling okay, the guy said, no, God has done it. Let's go back home. And the condition of the child became worse. If you did not have a God that was assuring you that everything was okay through your prayer and your declaration, you will not remove that child from that place abruptly. So number 3 is sabotage. Your prayer is sabotaging your life, and your life is sabotaging your prayer. Do you understand what I'm saying? Number 1, why you should pray less in 2025, you need to listen more. Number 2, you need to work on your conscience. There are people who are prayerful and do not think that stealing government money is a sin. There are people who are prayerful, will get a contract by sleeping with somebody and come and pay tithe and thank God. They have no conscience. Number 4, when you are too prayerful, you tend to do 2 things: sabotage your prayer with your actions and sabotage your actions with your prayers. Number 4, works. Prayer makes you feel like you have achieved something. Prayer makes you feel like when you pray for 1 hour, you come out feeling better. It is therapeutic. It has a placebo effect. But in reality, it does nothing for your relationship with God or your solution at hand. So prayer is work, is effort. Then when you see small successes, you start to attribute them to the work you did in prayer. It was because I climbed the mountain. It was because I woke up in the middle of the night and stayed up for 1 hour. It was because I did not eat for 3 days that I got that. And there's something called confirmation bias. Have you sat down to actually scrutinize your life? When my parents say God answers their prayers, I look at their lives and I see that yes, God answers 3 or 2 things that they ask for. But then you look at their life in a whole. Do you want to be like them? The answer is no. When you pray, you start to have confirmation bias. You believe the few things that are working in your life are because you prayed, and the many things that are failing in your life, you don't see those ones. You believe that there are prayers yet to be answered. Failures that you can correct with human effort are lying fallow because you are confirming in your mind that the results you have, you got them from the work you did in prayer. I beg you, just look at your parents. Sit down today, take a biro. Your parents are the best way to examine this. Look at their lives. Are they really happy? Are they really successful? If your parents are prayerful. Are they really happy? Are they count their successes and measure them against their failures? Once their failures are more than their successes, you will realize that they are working in prayer and they are getting placebo effect results. They are not getting real results, because those their failures, the Japanese man who doesn't worship your God is not failing at those. So prayer requires effort, and when you put in effort into something, you begin to see justification for your effort. When you pray less, you're now going to have a clearer mind, and you are going to look at your problems holistically. And when you do, you are going to realize that out of 10 problems, only 1 or 2 require prayer. The rest require your effort. 10 issues in your life, only 1 or 2 require prayers. The rest require your effort. They will be solved in a heartbeat if you know what you are doing. Somebody said we define success differently. There's no way you can include poverty in success, Pastor Fola. It's impossible. You cannot say they have a happy marriage, but they are begging to eat. That's not success. No matter the yardstick they use to measure success, if you are poor in Nigeria today, you cannot claim any form of success. Now, there are things in your life that you could fix with an attitude change. Some of you don't have friends because you can't, your attitude is bad. Some of you, men run from you because your mouth is sharp. I was talking to a girl the other day. I asked, can you slap your man? She said, that she has slapped a man before. Another girl said she has slashed a man's tire before. She na my motto, where the tire na 2 million naira for one. Now I want begin the day to make you come go cut my tire. Automatically cut off. Some of you don't realize that every day you are talking to men and every day you are talking to women, you are failing the test of marriage. A lady just asks you a simple question. Will you buy me a car first or buy your mother a car? No, I'll buy my mother a car. What are you building with me if you have to take care of your mother while I don't have a car? So me and you will work together to pay mortgage. But when it's time to buy a car, you will buy for your mother first. It's not going to work. So you can go to all the prayer meetings in Lagos, one after the other, and put effort in your prayer. But if you don't put effort in the things you can fix, your prayers can never be answered, because they never were intended to be prayers. They were intended to be your work. Instead of praying about passing, why don't you read the book? Why don't you attend tutorials? Instead of praying to pass exam, why don't you attend tutorials? Why don't you befriend people who want to pass exams? You want to be successful in life, but instead of you reading articles that can help with your success journey, you are watching reels on TikTok. You are not watching reels that are educational. You are not watching reels that you are watching comedy reels. Do you know how rich these comedians are? Some of them make $20,000 a month in this Nigeria. 10,000. I'm on a platform with comedians now. Now them, they make all the money. And then they clear the whole money. You see $12,000 monthly salary. Dollars. $8,000. 18,000. You see $25,000. You see $35,000. So you are going there to laugh. That man that is wearing those torn jeans making you laugh is richer than you in America, where you are in that America. He is in Nigeria. He can pay all your bills and still send you pocket money from Nigeria. At the point of Mark Angel's success, he was making $150,000 a month. I can guarantee you there's nobody in America that is watching me live that is making $150,000 a month. I can guarantee to you, there's nobody here on my live that is making 150. Let me make it harder. 90% of the people in America are not making up to $150,000 a year. 90% of those of you who are here across the world, you are not making up to $150,000 a year. Even if you manage and make $150,000 a year, I can guarantee that there is 0% of you here, all of you in America. There are 175 people watching me. None of you is making $150,000 a month. Somebody say comedians don't make that much in Nigeria. You must be joking. You are telling me what you feel, and I'm telling you that I belong to a set of people that we are all signed on to. And sometimes I dey peep my eye to see the figures. Don't let anybody deceive you. All those small skits, if you know how much those boys are making, you'll be afraid, you'll be frightened. And how do they make it? You. Because that's what you feed your brain from morning till night. You go online and you hop from one reel to the next, from one skit to the next. You live your own life lying fallow. You are earning $60,000 a year, $70,000 a year, and you are in the office of your pastor that is making $30 million a year, $10 million a year, $1 million a year. You are in the office of the comedian that is making $1 million a year, $2 million a year. You are in the office of the movie star that is being paid $8 million per movie. Somebody say, if you want to teach people how to make money, don't bring people down this way. Who is bringing people down? Once again, once you show people their lapses, they begin to take it as onslaught against them. You are praying to make money. What are you doing with your time? Tell me. You are watching skits. You are watching reels. Do you know the volume of enlightening material that is online? Look at me now. I'm preaching. I have 193 people watching. If I came here to tell you that 2023 is going to be your year, and I'm here to prophesy, I'll have 500 people watching me. If I came here to tell you gossip, I'll have 1,000 people watching me. It shows what you are consistently committed to. What you are consistently committed to will determine your income. If you like, pay tithe. If you like, sow seed. If you like, wash your pastor car. If you like, wash your mommy Gio's pants. If you are consistently committed to the wrong things, you cannot make money. All those people that tell you they pay tithe, it's not the tithe that is giving them money. Some of them are paying tithe so they can hang out with the pastors. And when they hang, they take picture with the pastor, they put it on their Instagram, they become credible. And you do business with them. That's one way. Number two, when you are in your pastor's giving circle, There's no higher level of social networking. You will meet people that have oil companies. You will meet people that have oil well. You will meet people that have airlines. You will meet people that have money. So you are making money from tithe. But it is not because you are paying it. It is because paying a lot of it has put you in a circle where you can network and sell what you have. I used to be in my pastor's circle before. And I see the kind of people that you just sit down. Once in a while, you are just there sitting down and somebody comes and says, "Yeah, wants to pitch an idea. And this idea is going to need 30 million pounds. And then right there, somebody's going to say, okay, I think I can do 6 million pounds in 2 weeks. You could just sit down because the money could just complete there, 30 million pounds, bam. So the woman that is working in the market and earning 1 million naira a year and paying 100,000 naira from tithe is not going to get that effect of tithe because she's never going to be in her pastor's close circle. Sometimes to be in your pastor's close circle, you have to pay 50 million naira and above in a year. Some people will earn 80 million naira a year and carry 50 million out of it and go and sow a dangerous seed. Now, the problem is you are at home, you are not seeing the full picture. What you are seeing is half of the picture. They are taking it, they are going to sow a dangerous seed. Now, what that does is that seed now puts them in a circle where your pastor will say, okay, the two of you are in this team, the two of you are in this team. You now become brothers. You now start hanging out. If you know what if you are working government work and you go and they go and make you brother with billionaire, nothing will happen. But if you are selling a product or offering a service, your network now determines your network. So what you need to do, your network now determines your net worth. So what you need to do is be in that kind of circle. So when they finish, they will not come and tell you that they paid the tithe to gain access to the network. What they will tell you is their tithe worked for them. And you, Mumu, you will buy it. Just like a woman who is sleeping with a government official to get a contract. She's going to come and say God blessed her. She's going to conveniently leave out the part where she had to sleep with somebody to get the favor. So prayer, this number 4, is effort. You are putting in effort. You are putting something inside it. And you are justifying your results from what you are putting the effort inside. You are ignoring your failures. Some of you don't have men because you want a man in your life, but all your other friends are male. You want to surround yourself with male besties, but then you want to have a man who's going to take you serious. Then you will say that this man slept with you for 6 months and left you. Who's going to stay with you? Do you know how many men see you the first day and say, wow, this is wife material? They rate you as wife material 9 over 10. And your actions reduce it. 8 over 10, 7 over 10, 6 over 10, 5 over 10, 4 over 10, 3 over 10. Who wants to marry a 3 over 10 wife material and put inside his house? From the day you meet her in church. She's good, she's nice, she's pretty, she talks well. But then she has bad hygiene. She does not know how to wash all the many nooks and crannies in her body. She does not understand the magic of deodorant. She has a sharp tongue. She's opinionated about everything. If you say 1, she will say 4. I'm not saying there's anything bad in having opinions. But when you are too opinionated and you are too quick to quarrel over issues that should be left alone, you will see that men will begin to run from you, especially when you have other labels. You are a man. You wear the same boxers for 6 days. You have no food in your house. You don't give your poor elderly parents any money, but you are popping champagne in the nightclub. Your girl asks you money for Indomie, you say there's no money. But then your girl follows you out to the club and sees you spraying and buying. Do you think that girl will marry you? Your problem is not prayer. Your problem is you need to fix your life. So when I say you need less prayer, it's because you need to focus more on things that you are in control of, like your body odor, like your sharp mouth, like your lazy attitude, like what you consume. You want to pray to lose weight, but eba no gree you. Someone says, I can't buy my girlfriend a car and ignore my mom. That's a very weak mentality. Especially when you have put a ring on her finger. Because let me tell you something. Women do not follow money. They follow generosity. A woman will follow a man who has 1 million, but is ready to share, ready to give her 300,000 inside, than a man who has 10 million and is ready to give her 500,000 inside. The proportion of that 500,000, it might look more than that 300,000, but where that 500,000 is coming from, compared to where that 300,000 is coming from, the proportion is different. The woman will follow that 1 million naira guy, believing that when he has 10 million, he will give her 3 million, not 500,000. Even though the two of you are bringing the same thing, the woman is not seeing the 500,000. She's seeing where it's coming from. And oh, out of all this abundance, this is what I get. And then she's looking at the 300,000. Out of this little, I get this much. Do not carry over the poverty of one generation into the other. I will never buy my mother a car when my wife doesn't have a car. Never. If my mother needs a car, she should ask my father for one. Someone says, I will not use money to woo a woman. You don't need money to woo a woman. But you see, women also look at your life. They don't need, not a woman today does not need your money. But she needs you she needs to understand that you sacrifice for her, and money is the easiest way to show sacrifice. Money is the easiest way to show sacrifice. Someone said you can divorce your wife, but you can't divorce your mom. Once you have that mentality, you are going to fail in marriage. When you enter a marriage, oh yes, you can divorce. But why don't you pick the right person from the get-go so you don't have to divorce? And why don't you behave well so you don't have to divorce? If you pick the right woman for you, that has a temperament to match yours, that has ideologies that fit into yours, that is ready to work with you, sacrifice for you and sacrifice with you, and now you treat her well, she will not divorce you. The reason why you choose your mother over your wife is because your mother puts up with your BS. Any man that picks his mother over his wife is because he has seen somebody in perpetuity that will put up with his BS. You need to be 10% of the man you can be with your mom, and your mom's still gonna love you. A woman will hold you to higher standards. A wife will expect more than a mother. Your mother can never divorce you because she's going to have to deal with the lack of home training that she put in you. Where she was supposed to correct you and she couldn't, your mother is going to have to deal with it for the rest of her life. Your wife doesn't have to deal with that. So when you say you love your mom more than your wife, it means you are a man of BS. But when you are a man of timber and caliber, you know that your woman is going to love you because you have the character traits to grow love. You have the character traits to grow love. I'm responding to something somebody sent me, a close friend of mine. Less than 10% of Americans, less than 10% of Americans make $100,000 a year. Let nobody fool you. But anyway, that's not the conversation we're here for. A man that tells you his mother can never divorce him is a weak man, is half a man. Because if you treat a woman right, if you sacrifice for her, if you're a man of timber and caliber, your wife will never divorce you. Because being a good man also requires making a good choice when it comes to women. You did not pick the big behind. You did not pick the 33 double D. I mean 36 double D. You picked a woman of substance. And a woman of substance will not divorce you for no reason. So it still is in your... When you run to your mother's love, it shows failure. You were not able to do it. You are not able to do better. Somebody loves you unconditionally. And I still love him. In August sense, I still love him. He's indisciplined. He is lazy. I still love him. Only a mother will do that. So fix yourself. Only a mother will love a dirty, lazy, indisciplined man. No woman would. So if you're a clean man, and if you're disciplined, and if you're enterprising and hardworking, it's not only your mother that will love you. Women will swarm around you to be that special woman in your life. because there's something they are coming in to get. They don't need the money. They just want to see the commitment. They want to see the hard work. Forget about 2015 or 2025. Focus on the message. Are you emotionally available? Are you caring? Whether you're emotionally available or not, your mother will love you. That doesn't make you a good person. That makes you a failure. When you meet a woman that loves you more than your mother does, then you know you've done something well in your life. When you meet a woman, when you have a wife who loves you more than your mother does, then you know you have done something right. Because your mother has no choice but to love you. But this woman, you have given her reason to love you. I went through a divorce. My mother did not abandon me. In my bad behavior, my mother still loved me. When I entered a new relationship, I did not take into the new relationship my character flaws from the previous relationship. I worked hard on myself because the woman I'm with is not going to love me indefinitely and is not going to love me unconditionally. There are some conditions. If I beat her, she's not going to love me. If I cheat on her, she's not going to love me. If I deprive her, she's not going to love me. So I have to work on myself to earn her love. So a good man is a man who his wife loves. A failed man is a man who tells you that his mother will love me unconditionally. What you are doing is you are throwing caution to the wind and saying all my indiscipline, my dirt, my filth, my uselessness, there's one woman in this world that's going to take that BS from me. And trust me, it's not your wife. I'll give you 4 reasons why you need to pray less. Number 1, so you can listen more. Number 2, so you can spend time and fix your conscience. JMK just sent me $20 on YouTube. Thank you very much. Number 1, listen more. Number 2, fix your conscience. Number 3, don't be an obstacle to your prayer. Don't let your prayer be an obstacle to your work, and don't let your work be a hindrance to your prayer. And number 4, spend less time praying so you can have more time to fix yourself. And the last and the final bit, point number 5, why you need to pray more is so you can build your faith more. You see, the more you pray, the more you ask, and it is biblical, if you ask, you shall be given. There's a stage where you get to in life where you have walked with God so long that you are not going to need I don't know if I'm communicating with you. So I need to send my daughter some money. I asked her to buy some stuff for me. So do you understand my message? Someone says, so Daddy Freeze, you love your wife more than your mom? Absolutely. The Bible itself says a man leaves his father and his mother and cleaves to his wife. Matthew chapter 19. Let me read it to you what the Bible says. If you don't love your wife more than your mother, you're not a Christian. Don't let anybody deceive you. The Bible in all clarity says it. Open Matthew chapter 19. Bible in my head. I wrote Matthew 19:9. All right. Matthew chapter 19, read verse 5. Matthew chapter 19, verse 5. The Bible is quoted as saying, and he said, this explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two become one. Your wife is senior to your mother. In respect, you respect your mom more. She brought you life. She sacrificed for you. But your wife is part of you. Someone said, Daddy Freeze is making his money too here. I'm making little. I'm not making any money on Instagram. I'm not making any money on TikTok. And I'm not making any money on Facebook. And on YouTube, somebody decided to dash me $20. I'm not making any other thing apart from that. So how can you say, if I wanted to make money, I'll say buy my money guns. If I wanted to make money like your pastors that pray for you in the money, I'll pin my account number. Someone said, if I were your mom, she'll feel sad. Mommy, wherever you are, I love my wife more than I love you. If you feel sad, it means you did not raise me well. My mother did not raise a wimp, so she cannot feel sad. She knows I should love my wife more than her, because her own husband did not love her more than his mother, and we saw how it played out. So those of you saying I'm here making money, I don't preach for money. I gossip for money. If I were gossiping, I'll be making money. If I were here gossiping, I'll be making money. The only thing I've made for the last 1 hour I've been live is that $20 that JMK dashed me. And I did not ask for it. And he will have gotten the same message, whether he dashed me the $20 or not. He will have gotten the same message. So unlike your pastors, I don't preach for money. I preach so I change you. I preach so I add value to you. I preach so you can fix yourself. The reason why your marriage failed is not because you can pray your way out of foolishness. It's because you need to go and fix yourself. I failed at marriage once. My ex was not an angel. She had her own many flaws, and so did I. But when I went into my next one, I tried to work on my flaws. So come back again and say this is why I preach less. First of all, I don't get the big crowds when I preach, because I'm not going to tell you that thing you want to hear. I will not tell you. Secondly, I'm not making money. But for 2025, whether I make money from it or not, I'm going to keep preaching the truth to you. I end my message here. 5 things, 5 reasons why you should pray less in 2025. Number 1, so you can listen to God more. When you pray, you talk too much. Number 2, so you can build your conscience. Many of you don't have conscience. You don't know when you are sinning or you are doing wrong. It just, your conscience have been seared. Number 3, your prayers are sabotaging your walk, and your walk is sabotaging your prayer. And number 4, you need to pray less so you can fix your body odor, so you can fix your bad character, so you can fix your laziness, so you can fix yourself. Because the more you pray, the more you hand over your self responsibility to God. God will find a man for me despite the fact that I don't like to bathe. God will find a man for me despite the fact that if they give me 1 million naira to do a business, in 2 weeks I'll be left with 20K. God, find me a man. That is when you start looking for imperfect people in the Bible who had good lives. Moses was a stammerer, and yet God made him a leader. Moses was the only one that went to the same school with Pharaoh. Go and read Acts chapter 7. How many of you cannot realize that you cannot correct a topic on Instagram? Focus on what, as in, how do you come here and focus on, as in, next time I'll be writing wrong title just to see that people will not focus. The message is there. Leave the title, focus on the message. And number 5, so you can build your faith. There's a stage in life you get to, you don't need to ask God. He already knows. He is all-knowing. He will fix it without you asking. That's my message. I'll come back for the gossip. And when I come back for the gossip, you can buy my money guns. You can dash me money. You can. I'm not going to say don't dash me money, but I'm not going to ask for it. Because this is a preaching session. A session for free. I've spoken for the last 1 hour. I've burnt my phone batteries. I've used up my data to get something to you. And I'm doing it for free. Some of you are going to walk out of this meeting we're having now, and you're going to walk into your marriage. Some of you are going to walk out and walk into your destiny. Some of you are going to walk out and walk into your purpose. Some of you are going to walk out and walk straight into the beautiful things that God has planned for you. And some of you are going to walk out exactly the way you walked in. Nothing added, nothing lost. I don't know who it is that I'm speaking to. I don't know who it is that I'm speaking to. But you are a consequence of your choices. Choose well in 2025. God bless you.